He has no right to use the N-word ever, but that's not the big picture. So I don't care. I don't care. And you know why I don't care? I have nothing to prove to anybody. Yo, welcome to my channel. This is J-Wave in the house. Like, share, subscribe. I'm gonna be making a quick video response to what Joe Rogan said, the comments he made. You know, he dropped, there was a video compilation of him dropping a couple N-bombs, which is disastrous. But there's a bigger picture to this. And I think we have to talk about it. You know, as black people, we tend to be very sensitive to things, and rightly so. Black people around the world are treated a certain way that warrants us to be the way that we are. But because of this sensitivity, it's very easy for us to be pawns in a white man's game. And I'm going to explain what I mean by this right now. So we know there's controversy around Joe Rogan right now. We know that apparently his podcast is sharing misinformation. This is according to the mainstream media, the kings of misinformation. Joe Rogan is getting at least 20 million views per episode. Numbers that CNN can't get. Numbers that MSNBC is not able to get. That is the real issue right now. People are listening to Joe Rogan because they're looking for truth. I listen to Joe Rogan because I look for the truth. Not necessarily the truth of what's happening in the world, but at least a true conversation. We don't get this anywhere else nowadays. Except online media platforms, we don't get this anywhere else. So after they've tried to smear his name all over the place and it didn't work out, now they go out of their way to make a compilation video of him dropping N-bombs. He was wrong for that. How should he use the N-bomb? Of course. But that's not the big picture. I hope he's learned from that. He has no right to use the N-word ever, but that's not the big picture. See, look at the mind of an African. Listen to me. I can't speak for all of Africa, but I can say for the most part, a lot of us Africans will see the comment on the Planet of Apes, and this is how we'll react. Let me play it for you and you'll see my reaction to it.
We can't go to there. So I go, you got to go to one where there's Planet of the Apes, man. We're going to go see Planet of the Apes. So I look on the iPhone app and it says, okay, take me to this one. And the guy goes, okay. I go, is that in a good neighborhood? He's like, oh, yeah. Guy barely speaks English. He takes us there. We get out and we're giggling. Oh, we're going to go see Planet of the Apes. We walk into Planet of the Apes. We walked into Africa, dude. We walked in the door and there was no white people. There was no white people. And I was trying to make the story entertaining. And I said, we got out and it was like we were in Africa. It's like we were in Planet of the Apes. I did not, nor would I ever say that black people are apes.
So he said he did not say that black people are apes, but he alluded to it with his jokes. He's a comedian. Comedians make egregious jokes. I'm African. I know that Africans are not apes. They're probably apes in Africa, but the humans in Africa are not apes. And I know I'm not an ape. I know how Africa is set up. I know we have bank systems. We have cars. We have high-rise buildings. We have mansions. We have everything that you have over here. I know it. I see that he's alluding to a point. First of all, he didn't just say Planet of the Apes out of nowhere, right? It was he was trying to make a double entendre joke, a joke where it's like, oh, I'm going to watch Planet of the Apes, and then I ended up in the Planet of the Apes. Okay, yes, that's a stereotypical joke of Africans, right? Yeah, it's an egregious one, but I don't care. I don't care. And you know why I don't care? I have nothing to prove to anybody. And this is coming from an African. I've never felt like I had to prove to anybody who I was, what I am, my worth, because you learn it. You learn about it. I don't need to cancel you because I feel like, oh my God, he just said something egregious that hurt my feelings. Because certain things you see you get a chip on your shoulder and you show these people like, what? Okay, you just said that's the best joke you could come up with. Now am I gonna go out of my way and be outraged or whatever? What? I'm gonna take time out of my sleep, take time out of my beautiful day, take time from my career to try to cancel this dude because he made this joke. Meanwhile, I know he's not racist, at least as an African. I see the way he supports black people. I see the way he had Charlemagne the God on his podcast. He had Francis Ngannou on his podcast. He had Israel Adesanya on his podcast. He has Neil deGrasse Tyson on his podcast. Yeah, you say, okay, he's just using them. No, go watch their interactions. Watch his interactions with black people. When he has Dave Chappelle on his podcast, and tell me if he's talking down to Dave Chappelle or he's talking to Dave Chappelle like it's his peer and his equal. And another problem is this. So it seems like we get outraged over clips that are edited and we never ask ourselves, is this the full context? Because now I go back and I watch a video that has the full context in it. And ultimately, he's actually saying things that most black people would agree with. We as black people have to be conscious and careful of not being pawns in other people's games. This is my biggest point. Why should we be a pawn for CNN? Are they paying us? Do they care about us? Don't they misinform us? Does the mainstream media misinform us? Come on, we have to be a little bit more rational. I personally think, he apologized. I accept his apology. Do I care? I don't. Is it going to change my future? It won't. Is it going to affect me any kind of way? It won't. Do I listen to him every day? I don't. Are you going to listen to him every day? You probably won't. But you listen to him when you listen to him. And if you're a fan, keep listening to him. This is all about preference. And if you really think he's a member of the Klan, okay, just leave him alone. Don't watch his stuff. But for me to sit over here and feel like, people start getting outraged and trying to cancel him because he said African people or Planet of the Apes, you were in Africa. As an African, I don't care. And that's the point I'm trying to really, really hone down on. We really don't care what people think about us because we don't feel like we have to prove anything to anybody. It's just the truth. When you want to fight the powers that may be, you have to show them that you don't care. No matter what you throw in my face, I'm going to keep it pushing. Who are you? Do you make a difference in my life in terms of who I am? Do you define who I am? Because you don't. Him saying the N-word was horrible. Under no circumstance should he have said that. At any point in time. I don't care if it's an example or not. But I'm more focused on this gorilla, Planet of the Apes thing. As an African, I don't care. I don't. It doesn't affect me. He could call me an ape all he wants. He's still going to have Africans. He had Ayaan Hirsi Ali in his podcast, didn't he? So what are we talking about? Who cares? Who cares? I don't. Because when it comes down to it, he needs us too. So long as he's using an Apple device, he needs us too. And he probably knows it. Just made an ignorant joke. And that's all it was. So let's not now be pawns for mainstream media. Please, let's be a little bit more tactful about this one. Thank you. That's all I have to say, man. This is J Wave in the house. Like, share, subscribe.